Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. We come to you every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock right here on AM 590, The Answer. Well, several of you have asked me, where can I share your show? I have friends that are out of the area. They don't receive this coverage. You know, all they have to do at 3 o'clock is go on www.am590theanswer.com. And if that doesn't work for them, all of these shows are archived at millionkids.org. So you can certainly share them anywhere that you want to, anywhere in the world as far as that goes. Well, I want to just kind of share with you today about this week being Thanksgiving week. It's been a powerful kind of week for me. For those of you that don't normally listen to this show is brought to you by millionkids.org. MILLION, millionkids.org. It is called that because when we started the organization way back in 2008, the organization was dedicated to stopping kids that are getting caught up in trafficking around the world. And there are more than 1 million kids that were trafficked. Now, that's way back in 2008. And since then, a lot of miles have been put under that bridge, quite frankly. And the number is much higher than that. So this organization, we combat trafficking, but we also are really importantly deep in combating social media exploitation and what they call child sexual abuse materials. And the reason for that is that we're finding an absolute epidemic, especially since the pandemic, of kids going online. And it just happens so many different ways. But they will fall in love, they will get enchanted, and they will send one of those erotic photos or videos, or, you know, they forget that live streaming works both ways and they get trapped as they're being filmed. And all of that turns into things that end up in blackmail. And this has become an absolutely big pandemic around the world. In fact, we made a movie. It was done by Stephen and Maria Peak, and it's called Sextortion, The Hidden Pandemic. And we've been working on that project for about 6 years now, and it has happened. It has come to fruition, and you can download it at almost any of your big streamers. So if you want to know more about it, see the trailer or exactly who is carrying it. I know right now it's Amazon, iTunes, I can't even remember all of them, Apple TV, Vimeo, a whole bunch of them. But you can see more about it at sextortionfilm.com or go to our site, millionkids.org, and go onto the Sextortion Film tab, and it will tell you all about that. So that is what we do, and we've been doing it about 12 years. We serve as the training and outreach coordinator for the Riverside County Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force. That means that we report up through the Riverside County Sheriff. But having said that, we also work with both counties, San Bernardino and here. And as far as that goes, LA and Orange County will often work back and forth. What I wanted to talk about today is the fact that we've just come through Thanksgiving week. And, you know, there are years that you just kind of dread the holidays. But that's not true for me and this organization this year. It's been a hard year. There's no other way to put it. We dedicated our resources, and let me make that clear. We dedicated your resources because we're a small organization that live at your mercy, your kindness, your generosity in being able to keep us going financially. We're not an organization that wanted to build a big corporation. We're not that kind of company. I've never wanted to be a big corporation. When those donations come in, we put them right back out to work. And we certainly have plenty to work on this year. And you did not let us down. You have been absolutely amazing this year for us. You know, we had some real fights on our hand this year. many of you know, and I've done several radio shows on SB 357. That is a bill that starts January 1st of this year in California, 2023. And it will change the landscape of California. And it absolutely changes the way we, as a nonprofit that combats trafficking, will do business. Because that bill allows anybody, anywhere, to loiter for soliciting for street prostitution. Doesn't say if you're soliciting for buying or selling. In essence, the bill says law enforcement cannot intervene if you're loitering for prostitution. And that changes everything for us, because up until now, it's been fairly easy for us to find people who are being trafficked. But it's going to be much more difficult. It is also going to result, I predict, in a lot of our kids getting caught up in prostitution, because they'll see it as a way to pay the bills when they go off to college or pick up an easy $500. And they won't understand until they're deep in that many of these cases, they won't get to keep that money. So we've had to change our strategy. And I've spent most of the summer and up until much of last year using your funding, fighting that bill. But we lost. I don't know any other way to say it. We lost. And that bill was signed by Governor Newsom. It has actually been passed over a year ago, but was held quietly until after the primary election. I find that intriguing, quite frankly. Anyway, it is now signed, and nobody talks about it much but me, but we have used your funding to fight that, and also to get this sextortion film out. You see, I think we've got to start a lot further back. I took some time off in after that bill was announced that it had been signed, because I almost threw in the towel, but you guys were there with me, and decided that we need to take this on. This is going to get ugly. We got to roll up our sleeves, but we've got to go back to the basics. We've got to teach our kids, especially about online social media exploitation, about how that works and who is on the other end and where that photo is going to go. And if you take the low road, you're going to get burned. We really have to back up a long ways back on how we handle this. And I've been giving this a lot of thought and a lot of prayer. And I just want to say that it has been a dark road for me for 2 or 3 months, but you all are amazing. So many of you have said, you know, you hear the show, they're praying for us and our work, our ministry. Some of you send checks. Some of you have sent some good sized checks, and I appreciate it, because our coffers went down to a place that I've not seen them in a long time. But I just felt like we had to get that movie out. We have to get it in the hands of parents and kids, and we have to take a stand against SB 357. You know, it's here, it's now. We're not going to be able to stop the passage of it, but we have to back up and take a whole new look at how we educate our friends and our family, and especially our kids. This is going to change everything. You see, this is really hard business right now. We have absolute open borders. That means we have all kinds of sex trafficking taking place of people that did not live here a year ago or 6 months ago. But along with them, when they came in, came coyotes. And they owe coyotes money. And now that this bill is passed, many of those people are going to be put into sexual exploitation. The same kind of thing with your homeless people that are out there. The same kind of thing with many of our foreign national people that come in to this state, and they are exploited right on our soil. So while I kind of licked my wounds and pulled back in for a few weeks, I said to myself, you know what? It's like we're here for this place in history. We've been trained, we've done the research, and we want to train trainers. And to do that, it's going to take resources, it's going to take finances, and it's going to take leaders coming forward that are willing to be trained on this very difficult subject. We started that, first of all, by developing a private Facebook page. It's called Million Kids Supporters. And if you're on Facebook, please go to Million Kids Supporters and sign up and join our private group. This is meant to train the trainer. This is to give you the latest information. And basically, we give you case studies and we analyze them from a training point of view so that you can be informed for yourself, for your family, for your church group, your sorority, your Soroptimist, your Rotary, just your friends, your book club. That will help a lot if we can get a lot of you trained. This is Opal Singleton. It is Exploited, Crimes and Technology. We're up against that break, so stay with us. We're going to be right back.
Are you tired of eating at the same old restaurants? Let me tell you about a fabulous Italian restaurant we found in Riverside, Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurant. Their caprese salad is exquisite with candied balsamic glaze. All of their sauces are special recipes using only the best olive oils. The salads are fresh and healthy. They offer a wonderful array of pastas, including shrimp scampi, capellini, bolognese, and lasagna. They're famous for their gourmet pizza, and you can order online for takeout or have a special date for dining in with family and friends. Mamma Mia's caters special occasions and hosts private events. You have to try it out. Mamma Mia's Italian Restaurant, located at 10971 Magnolia Avenue in Riverside, 1 block north of La Sierra on Magnolia. That's Mamma Mia's in Riverside. Be sure to tell Michael, Alex, or Joseph you heard it on AM 590 The Answer.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of MillionKids.org. I believe the 4 most powerful words on earth are I believe in you. So we created a challenge coin that says, I believe in you on one side and stand tall, you are loved on the other side. This one-of-a-kind challenge coin is a perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, graduation, Christmas presents, or just an anytime gift for someone you love. What a powerful message for a parent or a grandparent to give to a young person. This 2-inch coin is made of polished gold. It's striking to look at, and it is priceless to hold. It is packaged in a beautiful black velvet gift box. What a great way to leave a legacy of love that will last forever. To purchase this coin, go to millionkids.org/gallery. Each coin is $25. Go to millionkids.org/gallery to purchase and give a legacy of love.
Real estate sales in the Inland Empire are really hot. Sellers and buyers recognize that these low interest rates will not last. Sean and Colleen at Caldwell Banker Armstrong Properties in Riverside are proud to sponsor this show. They are the best in the Inland Empire. They're fair, honest, creative, and they care about you and your situation. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home, call Sean and Colleen at 951-529-4066.
AM 590, The Answer.
Hello and welcome back. This is Opal Singleton. The show is Exploited, Crimes and Technology. You know, I'm so lucky to be involved with an organization like Million Kids. A lot of people think I started Million Kids. I did not. Our Million Kids organization started by Pastor Kerry Decker of Compass Christian Church way back in 2008. And the nonprofit was actually started to support businesses out of Cambodia to work with those young people that had been rescued from trafficking. Over time, Pastor Decker went on with a different mission that he has of running his church, and he turned it over to me. And I've been deeply involved in it in the last 12 years. But I'm not the only person at Million Kids. I'm the voice of it because I have this radio show and I do a lot of public speaking and I'm known for my research. But there's a whole team of us at Million Kids that make this happen. And I just want to kind of share with you today a little bit about what Million Kids does and how this works. And I want to talk a little bit about gratitude because with Thanksgiving this week, I've had time to step aside and I am truly, truly grateful for the family of people that Million Kids has become. What happens is I'm known for my research. I'm kind of a nerd. It's just who I am. And since day one, way back in 2008, when I started in Cambodia, in 2010, when I started here with the Riverside County Sheriff Group, I wanted to know everything I could about the crime of sex trafficking, because there's a lot of hype out there and there's a lot of big organizations raising money, and that just isn't me. Okay, I'm not a person who marches up and down the street or throw out big numbers. I want to understand this crime, and I want you to understand this crime. These are complex crimes, especially when it comes to human trafficking in Southern California, and it's about to change dramatically. So with that, I do all the research, and I put together the basic presentation. And then we have RCDL Enterprises, which is Dina, and she goes in and she actually packages it so it can make some sense to you. And she puts all the pretty pictures on it and that sort of thing. If you're waiting for me and pretty pictures, good luck. I'm dealing with facts and what do I do to solve the problem. But she makes it palatable to you, okay? And I love her to death. She's an amazing woman. She lived in Southern California, but she now lives in the Midwest. But she was the foster parent to 12 kids. So she herself understands trafficking, especially as it's based on the foster agencies and the foster kids and how easy it is for a young person to get caught up in it. She's also the person that runs Million Kids Missing Kids. And if you aren't part of that, please go to millionkids.org and sign up. We don't sell your name, and I'm a pretty lousy fundraiser, so you're safe. I'm not going to pound you all the time. But this Million Kids Missing Kids, do you know that 1 out of 5 kids who run away will be a victim of sex trafficking within the first 48 hours? On top of it, I learned way back in 2012 as I sat with parents of missing kids what that's like. You know, they go down to the police department and they fill out the form, and the police are going to do everything they can to pay attention to it. But our police are underfunded and overworked, and they have a lot of things they're working on. So the parent goes home and wrings their hand, and they don't know anything what to do. So we have a program that as long as there's a police report, the parent contacts Million Kids. They fill out the form. It's right online. And we will then send it out. And we've sent out millions of these flyers. It's a very expensive program that we run, by the way. And many of you that are listening to this help fund that. But we do that because the parent is out of their mind. They don't know if that kid is in, Las Vegas or Los Angeles or Tijuana, or maybe down the street being held by some boyfriend or seduced or put out into prostitution. And with SB 357, the likelihood of that happening is much, much greater. So we think that Million Kids Missing Kids is one of the most important programs that we run, and we're able to do that because you send donations. We couldn't do that without those donations. That's very expensive. Well, then once Dina has it all packaged, she sends it over to Chris Kleiss of Kleiss Media, and they get it all out to you. I'm learning to tweet, by the way, and I'm the administrator now of our private group on Facebook. And I'm doing that because with SB 357 coming on, and quite frankly, SB 107, which is the one that allows 12-year-olds and above to come to California and get a sex change without their parent being allowed to intervene, I understood that we need to train the trainer and be able to get a army of you guys that are informed out there so that you know what you can do and you can use the resources in your life to share this message. And so Chris has made that happen. He's teaching me to be the administrator. That's kind of humorous. But anyway, I understand advanced technology and how it changes crime. But when I hit that keyboard, that's a whole different ball game. But I appreciate our team doing this. We have Tanya Holt that handles a lot of the research on pornography addiction and having to do with how that interferes or causes or results in domestic violence and child abuse. We have Linda Berg-Herring and Scott Herring, which you've heard, that are private investigators, and she does this thing about how well do you know your children, if you heard that show about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But she's actively involved in real cases and trying to track down kids that go missing. So there's a whole team of us that do this kind of work. There are several others that I don't have time to go through, but it takes a team to put it together. And I'm going to tell you that I am just overwhelmed with gratitude that they have stuck in there with this, especially as I came through the last quarter, beginning the last quarter of this year, and I saw the shape of our finances, and I was like panicked because I'm like, what do we do now in order to take this on? And is this God telling us that we maybe shouldn't take it on? We just received a very nice grant from a foundation. I went to lunch with them this week. Amazing people who were raised as orphans, who are self-made, who have decided that if they make it big, that they're going to give back, and they have, and they kept their word. I said that because of the fact that when you look around at who Million Kids is, we're a hodgepodge of people. We're a lot of law enforcement because I'm a law enforcement trainer. We're a lot of fire department people because I'm a fire department trainer and code enforcement trainer. And what happens here is that you may be a law enforcement officer, but most likely you're a dad or a mom. And you get it because you see the reality of this, and you come home and you look at your child and you want to do everything you can to protect your child. But you and I both realize working in this business is you have to teach that child to protect themselves. You can only put that blanket over them so far. This is a world where our kids are going to be exposed to prostitution. They're going to be exposed to all kinds of sexual activity in their video gaming, including S&M and masochism and violence connected to sex, long before they ever see what a healthy sexual encounter should and can be. And so we have to teach our children differently. This is a mission I'm on, folks. This cannot be any more of, well, my kid will be okay and they'll figure it out for themselves. Our kid is being bombarded from every side in ways that you and I never, ever once contemplated, and certainly would never have happened to us in our childhood. You know, all day long they hear about gender identity and their gender choice, and that parents shouldn't be allowed to intervene. They are going to see prostitution right out the window of their school, of their home, as they're walking down the street, when they go to the grocery store. It is going to be everywhere. We are seeing changes in our society that tell me, mom and dad, we need to back up and regroup and think this thing out. And it's going to take leadership like we have never had before. And so that's why I've changed the strategy of Million Kids to Train the Trainer. I'm looking for those people who want to know the reality of this and can use that reality to spread the word within their sphere of influence and change how we approach protecting our kids. We must teach our kids to make good decisions and protect themselves. This is Opal Singleton. It's Exploited Crimes and Technology. It's that time again. We'll be right back.
Societal Shift, A World Without Borders and a Home Without Walls. This is the most important book you will read this year, especially if you have children or grandchildren. We are living at the most important time in all of history. In 2020, the entire world will be connected by internet, more than 6 billion people coming together. Technology will provide many great advantages for our kids, but a world without borders for our kids is also a world without borders for pimps, predators, pedophiles, cartels, and organized crime. It is a home without walls because 87% of the kids sleep with their phone. It is the greatest societal experiment of all time. Our kids are technology geniuses, and their parents are technophobic. Some are techno-impotent. New apps come with no warnings on how a predator will use them against our kids. Advancing technologies like encrypted messaging, vaporware, artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and the darknet will challenge law enforcement, teachers, and parents to keep kids safe. Recent research states that 9,000 kids a day are being blackmailed with a naked photo, and 58% will meet their predator. It is indeed a societal shift, and one in which most parents are unprepared. If you are a parent or grandparent, teacher, counselor, or social worker, please take time to read Societal Shift. Only $18.99 plus $6 shipping. Order today at millionkids.org. That's millionkids, millionkids.org. It'll be the greatest gift you can give your family and yourself. Order Societal Shift today. Million Kids takes checks and credit cards. Opal Singleton, the author, will personally sign the book and send it to you. Again, go to millionkids.org and order Societal Shift today. Join Million Kids. Keep our kids safe from predators.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. Happy Thanksgiving week to you folks. I'll tell you, I'm just really, really enjoying this week. I haven't always been like that for these holidays. There are days and holidays, I say to myself, isn't this thing over yet? And oh my gosh, do we have to go over to their house? Really, honey? It's an interesting time, Thanksgiving, because you're bringing the family together and everybody has such high hopes. And there are many families that look like Ozzie and Harriet. Now, very few people out there know who I'm talking about, but if you are, you can grin, okay? I remember Ozzie and Harriet. They were like this perfect couple and perfect family. Yeah, but it's not like that, folks. I mean, the reality is it's not like that. And it's always interesting on a holiday when you come together and you have a chance to see each other in the reality and see your children and their choices, okay, and who they married and your grandchildren. And it's really interesting, your brothers and sisters and the sister rivalry, the brother rivalry. And yet many times the families are like really wonderful and they come together and it's good to see each other. But for ever one of those, there's that family out there going, oh my God, I can't hardly stand being around that woman for another half hour. And it's an interesting thing, I think. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about gratitude today is that I'm extremely grateful to be alive today, to have the life I have today, to have the fight that I have today and the work that I do. Everybody says, when are you going to retire? And I say, when God's through with me and ready to retire me, he will make that very clear. I thought maybe it had come this year when the finances were low and the fight just seemed overwhelming. But what I find is that more important, that such a time as this, that we need you, that we need to take a leadership position, that we need to come together as family. We may not agree on everything. We won't, okay? And that's okay. I try not to be political because both sides of the aisle and those on the fringes and in the middle all want, most people don't want a child to suffer and they don't want a child to be exploited. And so it is not easy to not take a side politically, especially when you have a couple of bills that have passed that are going to turn our world upside down. But I want to just share with you that as we look around at all of our differences, I also want to stop and be grateful for all of our likenesses and be grateful for the things that we have, the people that come together. And even if they're different than you, it's really a fascinating thing, I think, when you see people get together. And a lot of times it doesn't end well. Some families, I think, shouldn't get together. But I also think that we should take the high road. I read something on Facebook today that I really, really liked. Now, I'm not going to read you the whole thing because it's way too long, but it's put out by somebody called Ollie Viral, I think it's called. And it was all about a lady who was traveling somewhere and got in a cab, and it was a cab driver. And this cab driver was like unbelievable. The cab was just like clean as a whistle. He had water, he had different drinks, he had hot coffee, he had magazines. The thing is spotlessly clean. He is an absolute delight. Trust me, I have flown to New York and I've been in way too many cabs that are really ugly, and you're wondering if you're going to end up at your location alive, and let alone catch some sort of germs. But this cab driver was different, and she couldn't believe it. His name was Wasu. And so he said that she started talking to him, and she said, "Have you always served your customers like this?" And he smiled and he said, "No, not really. In fact, it's only been in the last couple of years. My first 5 years of driving, I spent most of my time complaining about all the rest of the cabbies." That's not unusual. I would complain about them too, okay? Then I heard about the power of choice one day. And this is what I want to share with you, because I think this is one of the most important lessons to give to your spouse, to yourself, to your parents, to your kids. In fact, I read a book a while back called The Choice by Edgar, 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 and it's a really important read if you ever want to read it. But anyway, this cabbie says, "Then I heard about the power of choice one day." He said, "The power of choice is that you can be a duck or you can be an eagle. If you get up in the morning expecting to have a bad day, you'll really rarely disappoint yourself. So stop complaining. Don't be a duck, be an eagle. Ducks quack and complain, eagles soar above the crowd." He said, "That hit me right," said Wasu. He continued, said, It is about me. I was always quacking and complaining, so I decided to change my attitude and become an eagle. I looked around at the other cabs and their drivers. Their cabs were dirty, the drivers were unfriendly, and the customers were unhappy. So I decided to make some changes. I put in a few at a time. When my customers responded well, I did more. I take it that it's paid off," she said. "Oh, yeah." He said, "My first year as an eagle, I doubled my income from the previous year. And this year, I'll probably quadruple it. My customers call me from my cell phone and leave a message on it." I like that story, folks. You can be a duck and quack, or you can be an eagle and soar. And I thought, I often say that to parents, is that I think one of the most important messages that we can give our kids right now is not all that self-esteem stuff, but literally give them direction. This is really a unique time in all of history. Our kids are the first generation in all of history that will be able to reach the entire world, and the entire world will be able to reach our kids. If you're on apps like TikTok or games like Fortnite or PUBG games, you literally have millions of people you don't know who they are. And we have to prepare our kids to make good choices. Because, as I've often said, if you take the high road, you're going to be safe and successful. If you take the low road, you are going to pay a price. And some of these kids pay a lifetime price as they are exploited. And some of them end up taking their own lives because the exploitation is so tough. So I like that story. I think we should talk to our kids. You can either be a duck or you can be an eagle. You can take the high road or you can take the low road. And it is up to you to do that. And in the meantime, we set them an example. I think that's so important, because look at your relationships with your spouse. Are you constantly changing your spouse, being critical of your spouse, or are you supporting your spouse? Are you building them up? Are you setting an example for your child to find the good in each other? I really think about that because of the holiday times at Thanksgiving. We all get together, and I know so many families that come away going, meow, 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 meow. What does she think she's doing? And what's he doing over here? And those people are not too smart. And do you see the way that they let their kids do everything? And it's criticism, criticism, criticism. One of the ways that you help your child not become a victim of exploitation is you teach them the 4 most powerful words on earth. And that is, I believe in you. And I mean that with all my heart. It's especially powerful for foster kids because they don't have that core relationship, that mom or dad that when all goes bad, they're going to be there. But it's important for husbands and wives, and it's important for family to take each other and put your arms around each other and believe in each other. In fact, for Christmas time, we created I Believe in You challenge coins. They are available at millionkids.org, and they will make a fantastic Christmas present. I did that this year. Yes, it's a fundraiser. I don't deny that in any way. But I wanted to find a way to help others empower. So many of us can't find the right words. We're not verbose, we're not all flowery in our language and like that. And yet it is so important that right now these people know that you believe in them, that you're proud to be connected to them, that you see the good in them. I say that, I look back at my own family, and my family's been gone a very long time. But I remember my mother telling me, I might need some money. No, I'm not going to give you any money, but I believe you're going to be able to figure it out for yourself. And I think that that's part of where I got it. I also got it from my husband, who passed away 5 years ago, because he made it very clear to me that when he was gone, he still believed in me. This is Opal Singleton. It is Exploited, Crimes and Technology. We're up against that break. Last segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Listen up, folks. You no longer have to drive out of the IE for a great restaurant experience. The Toasted Barrel, an upscale casual steakhouse located in Corona, has been winning award after award for their great diverse menu, service, ambience, wine, and cocktails. Customers call the Barrel the perfect date night. Inland Empire Magazine has awarded them Best Restaurant 4 years in a row. Wine Spectator recognized the Toasted Barrel's wine program for their award of excellence. Toasted Barrel is famous for their certified Angus beef, prime, Wagyu, and Kobe steaks, and they have some of the best pasta and seafood around. With happy hour and daily specials every day of the week, their appetizers and drink selections are the best around. Live music starts every Friday and Saturday at 5:30. Planning a dinner party, wedding rehearsal, family gathering, or holiday party? Look up Toasted Barrel online and make your reservation today.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. Let me tell you about my friend Doris Anderson at RE/MAX Realty in Upland. She is amazing. She's kind, she's patient, but she listens, and she's informed, and she will help you with your real estate transaction in a way that works for you. Doris, in full disclosure, often supports the work of Million Kids because she cares about young people. But she knows how to analyze a market, how to market a property, and how to find just the right transaction for both buyers and sellers. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate or invest in income property, contact Doris Anderson at RE/MAX Realty 951-733-8899. That's 951-733-8899. 951-733-8899.
Custom Service Systems, a proud supporter of Million Kids, is a family-owned and operated commercial cleaning company servicing the Inland Empire and surrounding areas since 1974. CSS takes pride in their ability to maintain the business facilities they serve and their long-lasting relationships with their valued clients. CSS provides a variety of cleaning systems customized to client needs, including deep cleaning and disinfectant to be COVID-19 compliant. From basic office cleaning to windows and floors, CSS will clean up your mess so you don't have to stress. Custom Service Systems cares about families and communities and wants to give back. Custom Service Systems are proud supporters of Million Kids to keep kids safe from predators. If you need the best cleaning services for your business or corporation, contact Custom Service Systems at cssclean.com. Again, cssclean.com, or call 951-781-9345. That's 951-781-9345. You will know you found the best. Custom Service Systems.
AM 590. The Answer.
Hello and welcome back to Exploited Crimes and Technology. This is Opal Singleton, your host. And I want to just one more time share with you that I really appreciate each and every one of you that support our program, but more importantly, get involved. I want to get to know you. Whenever somebody donates to the program, to our work, I try to get to know how we know you, what drove you to support our organization, and what do you see as your role in combating this. And all of that is so important to me. After taking some time off this fall, I decided that I really want to train the trainer. I want to get to know you and your opinion of this. And that's one reason why we set up the private Facebook room. Now, I'm not a fan of Facebook. Many of you know that about 3 years ago, we lost thousands and thousands of our followers as we were taken off Facebook for fighting against Proposition 20, or fighting for it, actually. But we're back on and we're in good graces now. So we have developed a private chat room and we want you to join that conversation. So just go to Facebook if you're on there and look up Million Kids Supporters and join on there. We'll let you on, and we post these cases and we're looking for your opinion, your thoughts, your feedback on it so that we can get to know you. I happen to be the administrator, so I try to watch it the best I can. But the other thing that I would share with you is that I want you to know how important you are as a team to Million Kids. And I also want to give a shout out to law enforcement. They really take it in the nose, if you will, in the mouth over the last year or so, maybe 2 years. And I regret that, because if there's anybody that you're going to need, and especially as this is coming on, it's going to be law enforcement. I am so proud to get to work with the Riverside County Sheriff Group. My boss there is TJ, and Sergeant TJ, by the way. Anyway, amazing men and women that you have here in Riverside County. And they literally go out there in the worst of the worst. They leave their family and they go out to save a kid, to find a kid, to rescue a kid. We have a group over at the DA's office that works with the sheriff office called the RSET group. And they are, your ICAC, Internet Crimes Against Children. They're the ones that are going on there trying to find those online pedophiles before that pedophile finds your child. What an amazing group of people. And this is the reason why I want to do Train the Trainer. We need to build an entire community of people that are knowledgeable. Even if you don't want to go out there and stand in front of some group and make a speech, nobody's asking you to do that. But what is important is if you can, as moms and dads, as leaders, as corporate leaders, understand what's at stake here, you can assist by training other parents, by sharing with your pastors, and finding a role that fits for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be like what I do. I was called to do what I do, but maybe you're called to do it quietly and be able to assist or be able to help with foster kids or simply be able to be a better mother and father. And I believe that that's going to become important. But along with that, I happen to be a law enforcement trainer, code enforcement, fire departments. I got to train all the code enforcement for California a while back. What an amazing group of people. Now, if you've just been caught with a violation on some building code, you may not be agreeing with me right now, but there are the people that also are out there looking for those drop houses. Think about this. We've had something like 3 or 4 million people crossing the border in the last couple of years. In fact, there was an article today that they intercepted during the month of October. They intercepted 40 terrorists. 40 they intercepted. Now, that's the ones they know about. And some of them, by the way, were serious gang people that live among you. They've also quietly been going out and arresting people that are in the country without documentation that are convicted sex offenders who were deported in the past and are now getting back in again. So I'm grateful for those Border Patrol people that are willing to do that. I don't know how you do that every day. I don't know how you get up there and try to hold back the flow all the time you're hearing from Capitol Hill that this is not happening. And it's happening in vast quantities. The same way with the people that fight fentanyl. I was reading a DOJ bulletin today about how Los Angeles is like the fentanyl capital of the world. And they see you in the Inland Empire as being part of of Los Angeles. Now, maybe not the capital of the world, but certainly the capital of the United States. And the amount of fentanyl that is coming in that they know of, that they've caught, and trust me, they're not catching 50% of it, but the volume of that would kill everyone in the United States several times over, and it's getting out to kids, our kids in our schools. So for me, I'm proud to know these people. I'm proud of law enforcement. I'm proud of code enforcement. I'm proud of Border Patrol. I'm proud of drug law enforcement that take this on. And I'm proud of every parent and every leader that wants to look at the truth of this matter and figure out how to teach our children that they don't want to be a duck, they want to be an eagle. They don't want to take the low road, or it will change their life forever. This is the generation that will have more opportunity than any generation, but they will have more opportunity for exploitation than any generation before them. And we are so poorly equipped to raise our children to understand the world they're currently living in. So no wonder they end up being violated. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope you enjoyed your time with your family. And if not, I hope you find a way to be an eagle with your family, okay, and soar above it and say, I am not responsible for anybody else but myself. And then take a look at your family and let them know how proud you are of them. You know, all day long on the media, all we hear is this is bad, they were stupid, they did this is illegal. We got to change that direction in our own homes. And with those around us that we love, our family, our kids, our in-laws, you know, our coworkers, this is important that we stand back and say, I'm proud of you. I believe in you, and I'm going to be here to defend you all the way home. And that we join forces for good. I think that is the secret. Oh, can we protest up and down the street? Yeah, and there's a place for that. It's not me, but there's a place for that. But we can educate against this, and that's exactly what we do. But in the meantime, we make leaders of ourselves, our spouses, our kids, our grandkids. By the way, Grandma and Grandpa, you carry a powerful place in history. You know, you get away with stuff their parents can't get away with. So take a role. You only have a short time in your life to influence your grandchildren. So go for it. That is why we made the challenge coins, by the way. We thought, what a legacy to give to your kids, that you can literally, that you believe in them. One side says, I believe in you, and the other side says, stand tall, you are loved. And if you want to see those coins, by the way, go on to millionkids.org and look at them. If you want to order them, I personally will send them out to you. So in closing, I just want to say how grateful I am for you, the listener. And I mean that with all my heart. Some of you send money. Most of you don't. That's okay. We're family. Million Kids has an incredible internal family, but we have an incredible family of supporters, of prayer warriors that build us up when we think we cannot keep doing this, that will come alongside of us and give us encouragement when we think, where in the heck is this going? But when I take calls from families whose child is being exploited, who has sent that naked photo, and everybody is just upside down in pain, I know that Million Kids is exactly where we need to be. When I see that we're able to convince a kid to take the high road, to go and make something of themselves, and that is how you succeed, I know why Million Kids has the mission that we do. But we cannot do this work without you, without your love, without your support, without your feedback, and without your financial support. If you're interested in helping Million Kids, you can do that by going to millionkids.org. You can donate, you can send checks, or you can just wish us well or let us know that you're praying for us. Send us a message, let us know who you are, and share this show with everyone you know. Folks, put your arms around your family and let them know how proud you are of them. I'll see you next Saturday at 3 o'clock on AM 590.
This message is all about Million Kids, the organization that helps locate missing kids throughout Southern California and educates to keep kids safe from predators. Million Kids educates school administrators, teachers, parents, and teenagers how predators identify a potential victim and the methods they use to recruit innocent kids. BMW of Riverside is a proud supporter of Million Kids. Visit BMW of Riverside at the Adams Street exit off the 91 freeway or click bmwofriverside.com.
Hello, this is Opal Singleton of Exploited Crimes and Technology. I want to tell you about a book I wrote called Seduced, The Grooming of America's Teenagers. It's all about how predators access, groom, recruit, and exploit our young people using social media, online gaming, video chat rooms. Technology is changing at the speed of light, and we have to understand how to keep our kids safe from predators. So you can get this book by going to www.millionkids.org. It's $16. I'll sign it and I'll ship it to you personally. We hope that you will order this book, educate yourself about how to keep our kids safe in this day of changing technology. Join us each Saturday for our radio show at Exploited Crimes and Technology at 3 o'clock on AM 590, The Answer.